Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS FANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNS FANS. Let's get to the news. Now, let's talk about what unfolded this past Sunday, a game that once again brought a familiar feeling of heartbreak and frustration for the Cleveland Browns. It's almost déjà vu, those moments where the game seemed within reach, where everything was set for a Browns victory, but then, inexplicably, it slipped away. And it all circles back to a recurring issue that's been haunting this team for quite some time now: special teams, and more specifically, the kicker position. In a game that was tight from start to finish, the Browns fell narrowly, 17-16, to an opponent that clearly took advantage of every opportunity, especially those costly mistakes at the most crucial moments. Szmyt, the rookie kicker, found himself in the spotlight, but unfortunately not in the way he or the team would have hoped. He missed 2 routine kicks, both in critical moments, an extra point and a potential go-ahead field goal. Those misses, as simple as they might seem to some, ended up costing the Browns dearly. It's a harsh reality in the NFL where every point counts and a missed kick can be the difference between a win and a loss. Szmyt, despite his young age and relative inexperience, showed maturity in his post-game comments, saying he plans to watch film, analyze what went wrong, and come back stronger. He knows he's got to do better, that he expects more from himself. That's the kind of attitude you want to see from a player in his position, especially after such a tough debut. But let's be honest here, Browns fans, this isn't just about one game or one missed kick. It's part of a larger, unsettling pattern that's been developing over the past few seasons. Remember last year, when the Browns struggled to find consistency in the kicking game? They tried Dustin Hopkins, who, despite his experience, couldn't quite find his rhythm, leading to a reluctance to rely heavily on him. Ultimately, Cleveland decided to part ways with Hopkins, accepting the dead cap hit, and brought in Szmyt, hoping that fresh legs and a new mindset would bring stability. Unfortunately, Sunday's performance has raised serious questions about whether Szmyt can be the answer long-term. In the NFL, kickers are often seen as almost automatic from close range, almost like a guaranteed point. But as we've seen over recent years, that's no longer a given. The game has evolved, and the margin for error has shrunk significantly. Teams are no longer willing to accept misses, especially in crunch time. The Browns, like every team in the league, have to adopt a zero-tolerance policy when it comes to missed kicks. You simply cannot afford to leave points on the board, game after game. And that's what makes Sunday's loss so bitter: 4 points left unclaimed, a difference maker in a game decided by just 1 point. Looking ahead, it's clear that the Browns need to act swiftly. The offense, despite some struggles, looked better than many anticipated, which is promising. But they can't keep leaving points on the table. Those missed kicks, that mental pressure, can snowball if not addressed immediately. Cleveland has to look into the free agent market again, perhaps bringing in a veteran kicker who can provide consistency and confidence. It's about stability, about finding someone who can be trusted in those clutch moments without second-guessing. This situation also highlights a broader issue in the league, a shift away from the once reliable, automatic kickers of the past. The game has gotten more complex, the pressure higher, and accuracy from inside 50 yards isn't guaranteed anymore. The Browns are not alone in facing this challenge, but as contenders, they cannot afford to have a weak link in special teams. The coaching staff and management have a tough decision to make. Do they stick with Szmyt and hope he finds his groove, or do they look elsewhere, perhaps bringing in someone with more experience to stabilize that position? The importance of special teams, especially kickers, can't be overstated. It's often overlooked until it's too late. But in Cleveland, the fans are well aware, every missed kick is a punch to the gut because it's often the difference between victory and defeat. It's a lesson in consistency, mental toughness, and focus. And right now, the Browns need to rally around this issue, address it head-on, and ensure that they don't repeat the same mistakes again. That's how champions are built, by learning from setbacks, making tough decisions, and pushing forward with a clear purpose. But let's not forget the bigger picture here. The Browns' offense showed resilience, and there were promising signs of progress. Quarterback Deshaun Watson, even with some ups and downs, managed to lead some key drives, and the offensive line held up well against a tough defense. The running game, although not dominant, provided some crucial yards, and the receivers fought hard for catches. Still, those 4 points that Szmyt left on the field are a glaring reminder that every detail counts in this league. It's a lesson for everyone involved. Execution under pressure is what separates good teams from great ones. Cleveland has the talent, the coaching, and the effort, but those small details, like a reliable kicker, can make or break their season. Looking at the season as a whole, this game might be a wake-up call. The Browns are aiming higher than just making the playoffs. They want to contend seriously for the Super Bowl. But to do that, they need to tighten every aspect of their game, especially in situations that look routine. A missed extra point or a missed field goal in a close game can haunt the team for weeks. This isn't just about one game or one player. It's about setting a standard about how the Browns approach those critical moments. And for the fans, this is a reminder of how tough and unpredictable the NFL can be. It's a league where every inch, every point, and every decision matters. The Browns have faced adversity before, and they've shown resilience. They've got the talent, they've got the spirit, and they've got the support of a passionate fan base eager for success. It's about learning, growing, and overcoming setbacks like this. If they can address their kicking concerns quickly, if they can build mental toughness in those clutch moments, there's no reason why this team can't bounce back stronger and more determined than ever. Now, you might be wondering, what's next for Cleveland? Well, clearly, they need to evaluate their options. Maybe Szmyt will get another shot, but perhaps it's time to bring in someone with more experience who can handle the pressure. The coaching staff will have to analyze what went wrong, not just from a technical perspective, but also mentally. It's about instilling confidence, building resilience, and making sure everyone understands how critical every single point is in this league. The AFC North is fiercely competitive this season, with teams fighting tooth and nail for playoff positioning. The Ravens, Bengals, and Steelers are all formidable opponents, and Cleveland can't afford to leave points on the field or make costly mistakes. Every game becomes even more crucial as the season progresses, and that's why special teams play a pivotal role. You saw how a couple of missed kicks can swing the momentum and change the outcome of a game. The Browns need to learn from this and come back with a sharper, more focused mindset. But beyond this game, there's a lot to be optimistic about. The defense showed signs of improvement, and the offense, led by Watson, is starting to click in certain areas. The team's depth is promising, and the coaching staff seems committed to fixing the issues that have plagued them in the past. Still, the kicker position remains a glaring concern that they must address swiftly. Cleveland fans deserve to watch their team push for greatness, and that can only happen if every part of the team is firing on all cylinders, especially in those critical moments when points are on the line. As we look ahead to next week, the Browns will need to regroup, focus on fixing their kicking game, and ensure that those mental lapses don't happen again. It's about building consistency, trust, and mental toughness. Players like Szmyt, who have the talent but need to develop confidence, will be under extra pressure to perform. And the coaching staff will have to weigh their options carefully, whether to stick with Szmyt, give him another chance, or seek outside help. This situation underscores how fragile momentum can be in the NFL and how crucial it is to address weaknesses before they become systemic issues. In conclusion, this recent game, filled with ups and downs, highlights both the potential and the pitfalls facing the Cleveland Browns this season. It's a reminder that every detail matters, every point counts, and that mental toughness, especially in the kicking game, can define a team's fate. The Browns have a talented roster, a passionate fan base, and a coaching staff that's committed to winning. But to reach their ultimate goal of competing for the Super Bowl, they need to tighten every aspect of their game, learn from setbacks like this, and move forward with renewed determination. So Browns fans, stay optimistic but vigilant. Keep supporting your team, stay loud in the stands, and believe in the process. Because if they can fix these issues quickly, if they learn to kill those small mistakes before they grow into bigger problems, there's no doubt that Cleveland can rise again, stronger and more resilient than ever. The road to the Super Bowl is never easy, but with focus, grit, and a little bit of luck, this team can turn this heartbreak into a stepping stone towards greatness. Season is still young, and the journey is far from over. Cleveland Browns are fighters, and as always, they have the support of their loyal fans behind them. Let's see how they respond next week, because that's what true champions do: overcome adversity, learn from it, and come back even stronger. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cleveland Browns. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Cleveland Browns news.